Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR. Which type of tattoo makes you cringe the most? I'm a tattoo artist, had a regular come into the shop. He was an older swinger type and my co-worker tattooed him. He got Pinocchio tattooed above his junk with his penis as the nose. And script that said, "Lie to me, I try not to judge tattoos but I figured you'd all appreciate this. 1_Sue_edit. Obligatory. Wow, this blew up. Edit. Thanks everyone for correcting my shrug heart. He didn't then ask for SpongeBob and Patrick on the balls. Did he? I know some who saw a guy get the same thing. But his nose only grows when he tells the lie, not when he hears someone else lie. I can go all night, he says. Whatever happens, he ain't winning. Edit. And if anyone has any stupid idea about silver awards or whatever, don't. There are more important things to use money for than a stupid joke on Reddit. Alright, I understand awards now. Whatever, do what you want. I'm not your mum. That's the Pinocchio paradox. Those creepy faces are babies which look like there's a little demon on your body. One of my friends has possessed Regan from The Exorcist on her arm and it's awesome, but then again, she wanted an evil-looking child and she got one. Baby face are so hard to get right. They don't have the same proportions as adults. Even drawings of babies are creepy 9/10 times. Baby face are so hard to get right, even for parents. When I was in college, my friend was talking to some girl he worked with and she brought her very unattractive, trashy, older friend. The friend had a tattoo onto her shoulder of a face. I said, "You must really like E.T. That movie scared the crap out of me as a child." I was being honest. I thought it was E.T. It turns out that it was her daughter. Her daughter looked just like E.T. This why we learn to act dumb and ask who's that? Even if we think we know. I too have commented and had it backfire. Who's that, my baby? Holy crap, I thought it was E.T. Nice save. That could have been awkward. I was in line behind a guy who had a tattoo on his neck of two obese, naked cartoon women going at it. Tongues hanging out. Flying sweat drops. The works. What else is he supposed to jerk off to? It's on his neck. It's more of a public service than a personal use thing. Could be jerking off in front of a mirror. 2 mirrors. It's for jerking off at the barbershop, obviously. Barbershops are the best public place to jerk off. You're seated and expected to remain seated for the duration of your stay and they cover you from the neck down so you have privacy. On an unrelated note, does anyone know of a good barber? I'm no longer welcome at my old one. On an unrelated note, does anyone know of a good barber? I'm no longer welcome at my old one. Sir, she spoke, and stopped politely, stepped away and stared, contritely. Yes? He whispered, watching, waiting, quote. Could you please stop masturbating? Quote. Till this is a thing and people are capable of being even trashier than I thought. Some people should not be allowed to get tattoos. NSFW picks for those curious below this guy and the even worse example. This guy are what I stumbled upon when trying to find examples of a tattoo. Seriously, I had no idea that people took trashiness to this level until stumbling across this post. I'm not surprised, just disappointed in humanity. I think that first picture might actually be a very young picture of my cousin because that's exactly what I remember his tattoo looked like. He's John Zandig, stage name, as a wrestler. Wonder what his pits look like now, _Sue_. The tattoo of a clown holding a gun smoking a joint on my leg. Edit. Thanks for all the love and awards, guys. Never thought my horrible tattoo from 9 years ago would blow up like this. That sounds pretty incredible though. It was done when I was 15, on Molly, in a dealer's apartment. Please give us a pic, I need to see this. Instant shame. I expected much worse. I love that the clown's gun has a suppressor, in case the thwomp of the shoes wasn't heard. Edit. Fixed silencer to suppressor. Thanks for the award. Whoever died. Holy crap, it's even worse than I expected. Definitely expected a more traditionally evil-looking clown. I'm really put off by the hobo sad clown choice, though it makes him a bit more frightening actually. Well, I feel a bit better about some of my shocking tattoos now, thanks dude. Glad I could do my part, buddy. Now for my sake, let's see one of yours. Imager.com skull and cross pen 15. I did myself drunk. Nothing says I've been to prison for cooking meth in my trailer like a Joker neck or face tattoo. I knew a guy who got a green question mark because his name was Morris and because of that song. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight talker, I am a comic book fan, and told him that's the Riddler symbol. The Joker symbol, if any, is the Joker's face. He hung his head and was like, yeah, I know. No regrets. In my country, if you have a clown tattooed, it means you're a cop killer. What country? Brazil. In the United States, it just means you're unemployable. One my sister did for a guy on his arm of a juice carton with the pussy on the side saying pussy. Juice edit. If I remember correctly, it also had a droplet coming out the end of the straw. EWW. Right. Who uses a straw when you can just drink from the tap? Save the turtles. Bet that dude loves Cardi B's WAP. By the way, don't Google what is WAP from your work computer. Wireless Application Protocol. Smartphones used to be called WAP phones back in the day. What is WAP, baby? Don't juice me no more. Tattoos are brands. It's basically free advertising. At least email them what they would pay you if you advertise for them till you die. I read this as bands. First, what brand tattoo have you seen? I know a guy who loves Volkswagen so much he has both the small circular logo as the full spelled out logo tattooed on his shoulder and arm. He went to solicit for a job at a Volkswagen garage once. The didn't hire him because visible tattoos were against company policy. It's like RAAAAAAAIIIIIN. So many people have the monster logo somewhere on them. How else are we supposed to identify the extreme sports professional badasses? Those Monster Energy tats are important for when I need someone to snowboard down a mountain and jump over a dozen babies through a flaming hoop. Domino's actually did a promotion in Russia where if you got a tattoo of their logo in a visible place you'd get free pizza for the next 100 years. So many people did it that Domino's stopped the promotion rather quickly. This also happened at a coffee shop where I went to college. Open Eye Cafe. They really underestimated the number of people willing to get a tattoo in exchange for free drip coffee for life. Yeah, they also underestimate how poor some people are. Like, have you ever seen a soup kitchen line? Probably every one of those people would take up pizza instead. We should stop before we give some big corporation a bad idea. Poor people's skin will look like a NASCAR jacket, just so they can pay the bills. Sayings, especially ones that span multiple limbs, areas. I was in the army with a guy from Texas that thought he was hard as woodpecker lips. Had cowboy the frick up tattooed across his forearms. Ostensibly so if he put his fists up to fight you, you would read it and, I don't know, be scared or something? He never got in any fights that I know of, but due to the size he wanted it and crappy planning. One arm said cowboy and the other arm simply read frick up. And he immediately became known as Cowboy the Frick Up. ETA. Dumbass PV2 Waldo gets me my first Goldo award lol thanks stranger. It took me a minute to realize that it was supposed to be about being a badass and not cowboy the frick up. After being around some of the younger guys from my husband's units, the latter seemed pretty plausible. Thought he was as hard as woodpecker lips for ha 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 ha, that's a new one. I'm getting a hard as woodpecker lips tattoo. What could go wrong? Get hard as wood on one arm and pecker lips on the other and you will be golden. Famous people. I get it that you really are a fan of said famous person, but to permanently ink their face onto yourself is borderline crazy, IMO. Imagine having a Bill Cosby tattoo and waking up from a 10-year coma. Like that guy with the fullback Steve-O tattoo. Or that guy with 2 Jaden Smith tattoos. LAAAAAAARRRYYYYYY. Just saw a couple of days ago a writing on some dude Kana ISNTAB word just as I wrote it. He's just expressing support for his friend Kana. She might not be a saint, but she isn't a B word. Me reading these replies to see if any of my tattoos are on here. Right, so far I haven't seen my tattoos on here yet and feel alright, haha. I doubt you have any pussy juice tattoos, so you're probably golden lol. I don't know the exact English word, but in German it's called butt antlers. I'm not sure what it's actually supposed to represent, but it kind of looks like you've got a deer tossing your salad inside your pants. I love how German is really accurate when naming things lol. Haha, while I like this interpretation, I'm pretty sure it's their word for a tramp stamp. I think I like butt antlers better than tramp stamp. Now I want to see actual antlers tattooed as a tramp stamp. Less than Google's greater than okay. No, I didn't really want to see that. I wouldn't click this if I were you. www.tattoonow.com. Lips on the neck. I get it. You're a gangster with an attitude problem and probably want to fight. Come to New Mexico. You'll see this so goddamn much. On both men and women. That you'll get used to it and it'll stop bothering you. A defendant in a courtroom I clerked in during law school had homicide tattooed on his face. Over his eyebrow. Not a great look. Know a girl who tattooed her firstborn's name as a tramp stamp. Not what I would want someone to be looking at while tagging from behind. A reminder that she's ovulating and that you are making a significant commitment. The more I think about it, the more genius it becomes. Ultimate birth control. A true reminder to pull out. I know a girl who got her deceased father's face as a tramp stamp. My buddy said that when he was hitting it from behind that it was the most awkward thing ever. That might have been my aunt OMFG. Stop everything you're all doing and let's get to the bottom of this. Aunt stays in LA. Oh. No, this was in Fairford, England. She was a bartender whose boyfriend had just went to jail for beating her. My buddy had just went there with us for a TDY work trip, after he just found out about his wife's affair. They were a match made in the gutter for those 45 days. He's judging you from beyond the grave. If my jowls aren't shaking, you aren't pleasuring my daughter enough. I'm going to bath. Not on my jowls. Had a lady come into the store I was working in with a big neck tattoo that said Daddy's girl. May have been the most shocking one I've ever seen. Well, thanks. My day just became a little sadder. Unfortunately, a lot of really awful obvious tattoos like that are brands by pimps, human traffickers, / Yup, I had a client that had a wrist tattoo that said, meat. It was to remind her that was all she was. Still haunts me. How do you even know that? That sounds like the biggest load of BS I've heard today. Here's a story of someone who got branded when trafficked and then transformed the tattoos. Branding in Wisconsin. Photos of different type of branding. Yeah, there was a downvoted comment in here somewhere about how many of these are just stupid tattoos. It is good to know this stuff, but also kind of risky to assume every woman with a daddy's little angel tattoo is a sex trafficking victim. Barbed wire around the arm that doesn't even go all the way because it hurts bad. How else would you let everyone know that you lifted weights in 1996? That and tribal tattoos on your delts. Grandpa, what tribe are you in? Well, I'm in the tribe of guys who had $60 in the mid-90s. We're a massive tribe, we've nearly conquered LA fitness. Knew of a guy once who had dubstep tattooed on his chest in very, very large letters. He also insisted that dubstep was the future of music and was here to stay. Thanks for watching LWIAR. The best of recent r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out LWIAR too. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.